Hello everybody, Dark Skeleton here, and today we have two new cards from the Karazhan set. As all of the previous cards, they are interesting and could see play in some way. So the first card up is Malchezaar's Imp, a 1-mana 1/3. Whenever you discard a card, you draw another card. So, at first glance you'd think, oh, this is the card that might make discard decks work, because it neutralizes the discard effect. To a degree, that does sort of make sense. What I think's more interesting is the fact that it's called Malchezaar, which is the final boss of the raid instance. So this could mean that Malchezaar is also a card that plays into discard, maybe a Warlock specific legendary, or just a Warlock, a neutral legendary that happens to be good for a discard Warlock. I don't know. Or it could be something entirely different. In any case, this card by itself, I don't think it's really strong enough to make discard decks a thing, because the problem with a 1/3 that doesn't grow in power like a mana worm or like a tunneling trog, is that the card's name, is that a 1/3 dies super easily to any 3/2, and people play lots of 3/2s. So what are you going to do on turn 2 when they just throw down the 3/2? Like a Sorcerer's Apprentice. You could argue, well, yeah, but then Voidwalker is still played. How much better is Voidwalker when Voidwalker has Taunt in a Zoo deck specifically? If you think that a 1/3 is good enough for Zoo, then yeah, maybe Malchezaar's Imp will see play. But relying on that effect to carry this card, it's kind of iffy. It's like, it can prevent you from losing a card from your hand. But the thing is, probably not, because it's probably going to die on like turn 2 or turn 3. So really, I would say 80% of cases it's just a 1/3. Yeah, and I don't know if a 1/3 is going to be good enough anymore. But if discard decks are a thing, you would probably put it in, of course. Next up, Babbling Book, the most cutesy card I think I've seen in a while. That is a really happy enchanted book. So 1 mana 1/1, Battlecry, add a random mage spell to your hand. That is some serious value there. I think people were talking about Brand Bronzebeard as, wow, you can get 2 random mage spells to your hand. And you know, in a lot of ways, that's true. Getting a random mage spell for 1 mana is a pretty damn powerful effect. But what you really have to think about it as is, if you're going to play Babbling Book, is it worth not having the correct mage spell in your deck in order to have a random mage spell in your hand? Because getting a random spell is not as good as discover a spell, not even by a long shot. You could end up with something useless like Shatter, and then what are you going to do? Then you basically paid 1 mana for a 1/1, and yeah, that's not so great. So it's not like this is the most game-breaking card ever, but yes, it is very good with Brand Bronzebeard. Two spells that you can easily get on turn 4 or beyond is a lot of value, especially if you play 2 of them and then you get 4 spells. What I think's kind of interesting about it is that it is a card you can argue is worth playing in like a control deck. So like a turn 1 play, if you're not playing a Mana Worm deck, or you're playing maybe a Reno Mage or something like that, that is not too bad. So it's a really weak 1-drop that is actually worth playing in a way for control decks. You probably wouldn't put it in Tempo Mage, or would you? Would you put it in Tempo Mage? I'm not entirely sure about that. It's kind of slow though, right? Because it's just a 1/1, and that dies to basically anything. But Babbling Book, I think, will see some play. Malchezaar's Imp, kind of just if discard Warlock's a thing. I don't think it's worth it just for Doomguard. You could argue you play it with Soulfire, and that's actually pretty good. Like a 1 mana 1/3 that makes Soulfire just a 1 mana deal 4. That's quite good, actually. So we'll have to see how it turns out in practice. I've been Dark Skeleton. Thanks for watching. I'll keep up with the card reviews as they come out over the next few days, and I'll see you in my future videos.